While I was growing up, I would go to school every morning, and before I go to school, I would go to, there was a bathroom here, and there was this room, his room was here, and then I would see him practicing yoga before I wake up, and he was already practicing. He was almost finishing his practice when I was waking up and going to school, and I would see him doing that for almost more than 13 years, from my first standard to my 12th standard. And I would see him practicing, and some days I would ask him, how are you getting upside down? I'm really interested and curious. I want to learn how you go upside down. So I would go with him to do a shoulder stand or a headstand, because that was the only thing I was interested in. I wasn't really much interested in that understanding, because those were the days when we were more about looking into the West and looking into the movies and looking into more Western culture. But you know, this was not taken so serious. Being a grandfather, he's been telling us all the stories and only teaching a little bit. Although he's not a teacher, he doesn't teach to people. He's only practicing himself, and what I learned from him was only by asking him, wait, what is this, and how you do this. What really inspired me to become a yoga teacher was my own experience while practicing yoga and understanding the effects of practicing yoga, and that also came mainly from the people I've met while traveling. I had the privilege to travel and to learn from different schools and different ashrams in India, and each of them has a different cup of tea to offer to me. All the yoga schools and different yoga teachers have different approaches towards the practice. Some are very much concerned about the techniques and the precision of the alignment of the practice. Some are not concerned about that. Some are more concerned about the devotion practice, more bhakti, more into your head. What am I thinking? Where am I? Who am I? You know, or more of jnana yoga. And some are more thinking about the karma. One of the best experiences I had was Dr. Abhay Kesti, where I really understood the value of yoga. So I have been organizing retreats for him because I really want to study with him. He was teaching like almost 10 hours the whole day, and for 7 days. And I was seeing him like, I'm like, how come you're not getting tired? Like, so this is what I asked in third day. And then he answered me, okay, so you observe me when I'm demonstrating the poses. And that's where I take the energy. So he was actually mainly spending energy while talking and demonstrating, but when he was demonstrating the asana and the positions, he would close his eyes and he would go in himself and he would be quiet for a moment. He would be quiet for 10 to 20 seconds, and in those moments he would take all his energy, which is spending it out in the next 2 or 3 minutes, and that's how he would balance it out for the whole day, and he would survive for the whole 7 days without getting tired at all. It's a great experience just to be in the company of these great teachers, because then that's when you understand and how and why we are teaching, first of all, and also to understand like the way to teach to beginner or to intermediate or to an advanced practitioner, and also the compassion and the tolerance and you know the patience they carry while teaching a beginner, because they have been teaching this for over and over for almost 30 plus years, 40 years. Yes, definitely it's important to be a student, but it's not necessary to be under a great teacher. Although it's very helpful to be studying under a great teacher, but it's not necessary, because you have live examples like Mr. B.K. Iyengar. He was studying under Krishnamacharya, but of course he had developed all his alignments and props by himself, by learning himself, by spending time practicing, by learning from his own mistakes. First few years of teaching, I was literally mimicking of my teacher's instructions, what I learned and what all. But later on, I had to develop my own understanding from the current situation and looking at the students who I was teaching to, because I was coming across different challenges every time I was teaching in a new class in a different format. So teaching different workshops and teaching to different people always is a different learning experience, because the kind of people I'm teaching to they're always different, coming from different exposures, different environments. They are either athletes, they are either yoga practitioners, either they have never practiced yoga, and that's what makes me learn to impart my teachings in a right professional way, so that they can get it in the right period of time when I'm there with them. All this knowledge and all this information is very cheap these days, as you can get on YouTube. You can learn everything, but it's just the process and the time and the time and exactly the way I have to do it. It's what is valuable, and it's what I'm bringing into the classes. Otherwise, everybody can go and learn into YouTube classes. Yes, I believe if the mind is healthy, body is healthy, but it's not necessary. One can be healthy in the mind, one can still be not healthy in the body, and the same goes vice versa. So one has to nurture and pay attention to both aspects of the body, although one is the same. Body and mind and body, they both are same things. So in order to work for the body, one has to start in the mind, but just by working in the mind, one cannot go to the body level. So one cannot just practice the asana aspect of yoga. One also has to practice the dhyana aspect of yoga, which is to meditate after that, so that one doesn't cling to the physical plane of the body. Otherwise, it's very easy to cling only to the physical aspect of the body and to the yoga practice, and to get lost and get attached with the body practice. But one must get disattached by understanding the meditation part of the yoga practice. Yoga is a tool, or yoga is a practice to be able to transform, yes, definitely. But it's also very important to understand that it's not because of yoga that one is coming to become a person which he was not earlier. Yoga is simply, it's not helping you to get something which was absent before. Yoga is simply enhancing what is already there from the first place. So it's not necessary to only think that, okay, only when I do yoga I become that. We are already that, and we just need to acknowledge the fact.